how you doing? It's Layla here, and today I'll be finally doing a video that's been highly requested. I've done a daytime foundation routine a while ago, and I've been getting a lot of requests to do a full face evening sort of foundation routine, so I'm gonna do that today for you guys. And I also figured out, since I'm already filming, I might as well do a full face look. So the look I'm wearing today is also going to be in this video, so if you like this look and want to know how I do my full-on foundation routine, then stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what you need to do. So to start off with, I have nothing on my face right now except for moisturizer and under-eye cream. So as my first step, if I want my makeup to last, I always start off with a primer. So I'm going to use the Photo Finish by Smashbox today and just apply that with my fingers all over my face. Once you got the primer on, the next step I do is apply a full coverage foundation. Even though right now I don't have really any breakouts or anything like that, I still like to have an even skin. So I'm going to use the La Roche-Posay in color Tan. And this foundation actually was discontinued quite a while ago for sale in Canada, and I was lucky enough to find it in France when we were there 2 years ago. So I've been using it for 2 years and I still have probably about this much or so. So I'm gonna squeeze it out onto the back of my thumb, I guess, or the front of my thumb. I'm gonna squeeze it out about this much, and then what I'm going to do is actually use my finger, sort of dot it out around my face. Start off with just one cheek, and then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender, and I absolutely adore this little thing because it really helps to have an even blended out foundation that really looks like your skin. So if you don't know how to use it, there's a ton of tutorials on YouTube. So you just wet it, so it's a little damp right now, and what I'm going to do is just start to work it into my skin, and there's different techniques of doing it. So the way I do it is I just kind of roll it over, and then when you get to around your nose area or whatever, you can use the smaller side and then do the same thing for around the eyes and just kind of roll it into the skin, and it looks like, I mean, flawless, like totally flawless. I love using the Beauty Blender. You also want to bring whatever is remaining on the Beauty Blender down onto your neck as well, because you never want to have a line of foundation. And I also go over the ears as well a little bit, just to have a very nice uniform blended out effect. So once the foundation is in, I'm gonna go in and conceal under my eye area and also reduce some redness that I have around my nose. I don't really have any breakouts right now thanks to my new skincare routine, which I promise I will be doing very soon. So to reduce the redness, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown corrector in Bisque. This is what it looks like. It's a little corrector like that, and you can tell I've been using it a lot. So what I do is I just use it with my finger, pick up a little bit, go like that with my 2 ring fingers, and then just start to blend it out around anywhere where you would need to cover redness. So once you've covered up any redness or spots, the next step I do is apply a concealer, and I love this Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer in color medium beige. Is the perfect match for me. So I'm going to again squeeze out a little bit. You honestly need the teeniest amount because it's so creamy and covers really, really well. So I just apply a little bit onto my ring fingers again. Fingers, I can't talk. And then I kind of dot it around my eye area, just like this. And then I just prefer to use my fingers. I find it works really, really well. So you just want to go back and start to blend it in all the way around. So once you got all the liquid and creamy products onto your skin, I love to just set everything in place with a powder. And so in my case, I like to use the Bare Minerals foundation. It's the mineral one, so it looks like that. So what I do is I just pick up a little bit onto the cap, and I'm gonna use my large powder F30 brush by Sigma. Just swirl it into the cap and then go over your entire area and just sort of set the foundation in place. And sorry, I forgot to say my color is medium tan in the Bare Minerals foundation, if you're wondering. Next, it's time to set the under eye concealer area, and to do that I love to use the Bare Minerals, again, Well Rested product. It's an amazing product, and it really brightens up and sets your concealer in place and doesn't budge at all day. And to do that, I'm going to use the Pirouette number 6 brush. So again, you use whatever's in the cap, and that's actually more than you need. So just kind of swirl the brush around, tap off any excess, and just go around the entire eye area, under eye area, and just set everything in place. So at this point, the foundation is in, so technically I could stop the tutorial right here, but I figured if I'm filming, I might as well show you the rest of my face as well. So the next step I would do, once the foundation and everything is in place and set, I would contour and bronze. So the bronzer I'm going to use today is a Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Natural. It's a really good bronzing powder for both contouring and bronzing. And I'm going to use large angled contour F40 brush to do that. So it's very, very pigmented, so you need a teeniest amount. So just apply a little bit, and I'm going to start to just contour the cheekbones. I'm not going for a super sculpted look, so I just want to pronounce the cheekbones just a little bit. You also want to bring the sculpting up into your temples as well, and a little bit around the hairline, which just gives you a very natural sort of tan look. And then you want to bring a little bit underneath your jawline just to, again, accentuate all the angles. So for blush, I want to keep it warm, so I'm going to use my favorite color from Tarte. It's called Tipsy, and I'm going to use Pirouette number 4 brush, a really good brush for blush. So what you want to do is just apply it lightly to the apples of your cheeks and just sort of blend it up into where you applied the bronzer. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of highlighter around my cheekbones. So I'm going to use Josie Maran Argan Illuminizer. That's what that looks like. You need, again, very, very little bit. So I'm going to pick up a little bit onto my ring fingers, about that much, and then just sort of dot it around the upper cheekbone and start to blend it into the skin. And usually when I have all my face products in place, I finish off the look and I just kind of set it in place with Makeup Forever HD powder, a high definition powder, and you need very, very little bit of it. So you want to find a flat sort of round shape. For me, it's the top portion of the Beauty Blender packaging. So I apply just a little bit. I'll show you guys, like that much. And then I'm going to use the large powder F30 brush by Sigma. Just swirl it in place like that, and then close your eyes and just kind of go around your T-zone area and set everything in place. Okay, now we're ready for the eyes, and the first thing again is to apply primer, and I'm going to use the Urban Decay primer. This is the new packaging and it's so much easier. It's in a tube, so I prefer this much rather to the doe foot applicator. And I think they've also changed the formulation, so you need very, very little bit of it. You can see right here I have a little tiny size, and again I do the same thing. I just apply it to both of my ring fingers and just apply it all over the eyelid from the lash line all the way to underneath the eyebrow. So I want to keep it really, really simple for the eyes, so I'm actually going to apply just one color all over the eyelid, and this is MAC's cream eyeshadow in, what is it called, in Vintage Coin, and I really love this color. It's sort of an army greenish sort of color, and I find again with this the best way to apply it with just your fingers. So what I do is I just use my ring finger, pick up, and look at the payoff on that. It's absolutely stunning. And what I'm going to do is start to just apply this all over the eyelid, on both eyelids, from the lash line to about the crease. You don't want to go over the crease too much because we will be blending it out after. And then you want to leave the inner corner alone. So once you have this color all over the eyelid, I'm just going to blend out the edges. You can see I left it very messy, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to use the color Tease right here from the Naked 2 palette. And I'm going to use my blending brush, E25 by Sigma. You want to just pick up the color and start to just blend out the edges in a back and forth motion. This is sort of the windshield wiper motion, just back and forth, and then you want to flip the brush over and start to blend it upwards again. So now we're going to highlight the eye area. I'm going to use Booty Call for the inner corner and Foxy for underneath the eyebrow. So it's right here. this one, and right here is the Foxy. And I'm gonna use E60 large shader brush. So first I'm going to just pick up Woody Coal and apply it into the inner corners, sort of overlapping the first color and then bring it underneath as well. And that's really gonna open up and brighten the eye area. When overlapping the colors, you just wanna make sure to blend it in, blend it out rather really nicely up here so you don't see a line of the highlight color and then the darker colors. So you just kind of lightly go over the edge and just make sure that it's all nicely blended in together. So next I'm going to highlight underneath the eyebrow area. So just apply Foxy with the same brush right underneath and then just kind of blend it out. A trick that I also love to do to brighten up the eyes is apply a little bit of highlighter underneath of the outer edge, outer corners. So again, using the same brush and the color Foxy from the Naked 2 palette, I'm just applying a little bit onto the corner, and that just creates more contrast and darkens the area right here. So next I'm going to apply a gel eyeliner just to the upper lash line to darken up and line my upper lashes. So I'm going to use Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner in black ink. I'm going to use eyeliner brush EO5 by Sigma. This is truly the best brush to apply gel eyeliner with. So I'm picking up the color and I'm going to just use the mirror right here. And what you want to do is start off by I like to start on the outer corner and then just bring it towards the inner corner, like so, and then go back from the outer corner, from the inner corner, and just kind of meet the lines. I'm also going to create a very small wing on the outer edge. Now it's time for mascara, and I'm going to use Hot and Naughty by MAC. So it's one that has two wands. So there's one that comes out and it's more of a daytime, more of a subtle look, and then the second part right here comes out and this is more of a dramatic side. So what I'm going to do is just apply two coats, so one coat of each on the top lashes and one coat of the more subtle one on the bottom, and I'll be right back. So to finish off the look, I'm going to just fill in my eyebrows, and the first thing I always do is just brush through with a spoolie. I'm going to use the Anastasia brow powder in the brunette and the E65 brush. So I just kind of mix the two colors together and just start to fill in any sparse areas. And once you're done filling them in, you always want to brush through with a spoolie one more time to give it a more natural look. And of course the very last thing is the lips, and I'm just going to use a Revlon lip gloss, and this is one of my favorite colors. It's called Coral Reef, so I'm just going to apply that. So that's it at this point, the look is finished, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and definitely give it a try. And if you do, let me know how you like it, and if you also like more directional, more instructional tutorials like this one. They will be longer, but then at the same time I feel like I'm able to just try to give you more tips along the way. So do let me know which style you prefer, more shorter videos to the point or a few more tips along the way. Definitely let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!